Hey everyone, this is Ole Sharanki from Laddering Your Success, and you're listening to the LYS Podcast.
Hey, what's up, parents? Listen up. Yeah, I'm talking to you. If you have a child that is graduating high school and they're trying to make plans, they're trying to figure out their future, and you're trying to help them figure out their future, then you need to listen up to what we're talking about today on Steps for Success by none other than Laddering Your Success. The question is, which college should I choose? Oftentimes, when kids are graduating from high school, they feel a lot of peer pressure, right? And part of the pressure is, this kid is, oh, I got into Yale, oh, I got into Harvard. And like, if you're like me, I was not, I was smart, but it wasn't on paper, right? Like, I figured stuff out in the hood. I figured out how to feed myself, how to, all those kind of things that, when you have a parent who's working 2 and 3 jobs, all those things I knew how to do, right? I knew how to wash my own clothes and take care of myself. But the thing is, I wasn't academically gifted on paper, right? And so figuring out what to do after high school was tough on me, right? And it's probably tough on your child as well. So I'm going to give you some keys, some being, knowing, doing keys on how to have this conversation with your child about which college should they choose. So here's the key on being, right? The first and foremost key is, who do they want to become, right? So whenever you're becoming someone or becoming something, right, you have to go through a process. And the outcome that you're looking for is a result of the process that you went through. So for example, if you want to become a doctor, right, then there's certain steps, a process, right? You get your undergrad degree, then you get your graduate degree, which is usually med school, right? You get into med school, and once you get into med school, you then finish med school, and then you do your residency, and then after you do your residency, you're now a doctor. You went through a process, right? There's a 10-year process that you went through in order to become a doctor, right? If you want to be a basketball player, being a basketball player, obviously you got to go to practice. After you go to practice, unless you're Allen Iverson, right? Practice? What are we talking about? Practice? No, the old joke. But anyway, you have to go through playing games, and you have to go through building your skill sets, and you have to go through dribbling, and there's certain things that you have to do in order to become a professional basketball player. And so the big thing is trying to figure out who your child wants to become first and foremost. And I know this could be tough because, especially if you're an immigrant parent like mine, it was like doctor, lawyer, engineer. Those are your choices, right? But there are plenty other career options out there. And especially in this day and age where you have AI tools coming in, where you have robotics coming in, and this gives a lot of pressure to kids because they're like, yo, AI is coming in. They're talking about all this universal income, all this other craziness that is just out there, right? We kind of need to know, what am I going to do with my time? What am I going to do with my life, right? And part of that is getting an education. So figuring out who your child wants to become first and foremost is the biggest thing, right? Now, what do you need to know? You need to know what school then supports the outcome that your child's looking for. Meaning, does the school that your child's looking at even have the major for what they want to become? So I'm gonna give a little bit of clarity to this, okay? Because I know you're like, huh, what? So there's 2 different types of institutions. There's what's called research institutions, or tier 1 institutions that are research based, and then there's what's called liberal arts institutions, okay? So these 2 different types of institutions, one focus is on deep, heavy sciences, okay? So there's a lot of research done in these institutions. They get a lot of grant funding from research in these institutions. University of Michigan, Stanford, T. Davis, right? There's certain institutions where there's research going on that's heavily science-based, and so they're research institutions, they're scientific institutions. Now, there's other institutions that are liberal arts institutions. Nothing's wrong with these, but these are your typical colleges that offer things, English, social studies, all those different kind of things, right? But they don't have as much emphasis on science. And so because they don't have as much emphasis on science, they generally don't get as much grant funding, right? And there's a couple other nuances there, like how many labs do they have, how many professors do they have with doctorate degrees, and so on and so forth, right? And these things make a difference based off of what your child wants to do. And so if you know who they want to become, Now you kind of know where they need to go, right, to a research institution or a liberal arts institution, right, based off of whatever that school's label is, okay? And so these are things that you could talk through with your child. Say, well, if you want to become this, what is your major, right? And I get it. If you're like me, I was super confused about a major, so it's like, man, I don't know. Okay, so now what do you need to do? What you need to do is go on the school's websites, right, and look at the tuition for each of these schools that have your child's major, okay? And it might surprise you. Your child might really want to go to a school, and they might be wanting to go to the school because their friend went to the school, but they don't have their major of choice. And so this is kind of important for you and your child to know, right? And so now you have the being, knowing, and doing, okay? Be, focus on who your child wants to become. Know, does this school or institution offer the major that my child needs? And do, right, is looking up that school and signing up for that school based off of the fact that they have the prerequisite courses that you're looking for. So I hope this was helpful to you. Thanks for following. Thanks for liking. Hit the button if you haven't followed and liked yet. My name is Festus Amoye. This is Steps for Success by Laddering Success. All right. Be blessed. We'll see you later.
Oh, you're still there? Well, thank you so much for listening to the LYS podcast.